At Arizona State University, we offer a variety of programs online, designed and taught by a renowned faculty to empower your success. That's why 87% of ASU online graduates stated they were promoted or received an increase in salary after earning their degree. Visit asuonline.asu.edu.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
We go now to Roger Stone, the great political advisor for so many presidents, including former President Trump. Big question, Roger. Is he going to do another debate? Because he opened the window. I was watching his press conference just a little bit ago, Roger, and he was superb, by the way. I thought Kamala Harris couldn't have done a news conference like that for 5 minutes. But he opened the door to saying he might if he's in the right mood. What do you think? Is he going to do another one with Kamala Harris?
Well, the real question is, what I saw the other night on ABC was not a debate. It was a mugging. It was a 3-on-1 mugging. Why would they give the president a shorter microphone stand so that he had to lean forward to be heard? Why would they give Kamala Harris a larger podium so she could look as tall as the president when she's obviously not as tall as he is? Why were there no follow-up questions for Kamala when they badgered the president? And in their fact-checking, this is the most troubling thing, they were lying in the fact-checking. The things they said in fact-checking are not facts. Yes, I'm sorry, but at least 9 states by law would allow abortion after birth because it's not addressed. And as many as 22 states have late abortions. There are at least 10,000 8 or 9 month abortions in the country every year. So why would they say that there are none, for example? So this was extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it in American politics. The president still made his key points about the danger of an open border, the crime and drug epidemic that's given us. No, Kamala, crime is not down. It's up. The latest statistics, even from their own government, prove that. So the real question, I guess, is can the president get a debate in a fair forum? I mean, Fox, I remember very well them calling Arizona for Joe Biden when half the votes had not yet even been counted in, or in some cases had not even been opened in Arizona. So I don't trust any of these mainstream outlets to give the president a fair break. Give CNN their due. He went into a debate with disadvantageous rules. He lived within them. He was very disciplined. I don't think they treated him unfairly, and he came out a winner.
I agree. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, Roger, but and by the way, and you know, I moderated debates. I thought it was a disgrace to journalism. I agree with you, Roger. They were so blatantly one-sided. But now CBS is coming out with a partnership of Univision, CBS, and the Wall Street Journal. They're inviting both camps. Neither camp has accepted it. But that maybe, I don't know. What do you think of that? Do you think he would go for that, or you don't think that would be fair? It's hard to say after that one, the last one we just saw.
The Wall Street Journal is not under its original ownership. It now has Chinese owners, I believe. Univision is the CNN, is the MSNBC of Hispanic cable. Why would he trust any of these people? Those are his enemies. They may have purchased, blue chip names, but there's no evidence that those are fair or balanced platforms. I would not go to any of them if I were the president. If he asked my advice, I would say no.
I don't think. Advice. By the way, I don't think he should walk into another ambush. I agree with you. I thought, you know what, Roger? I thought it was a disservice to America because America. I would have loved to have seen 1/10 of what Trump got on her. Because then let's see if she could have handled anything all the incoming that he got from the two moderators and her. I think it was a complete disgrace to America that we didn't see how she would really be answering the questions if she was pressed, and she didn't get it. And that's a travesty for America.
Well, the biggest travesty is this attempt to reinvent herself as something she's not. Yes, she has favored defunding the police. Yes, they want to talk about Obamacare. She's proposed having U.S. taxpayers pay for every penny of the health care for everybody who's in this country illegally, which I think is far more than 10 million people. It could be closer to 20, according to some experts I speak to. If that were the case, we won't be able to pay for health care for anyone. She wanted to decriminalize the crime of entering the country illegally, so it would no longer be a crime. She wanted to do away with all private insurance. This list goes on and on. She tries to rewrite who she is, but she's a radical extremist, and she was in charge of the biggest problem in the country, the border. They can try to walk that back at NBC and ABC. Perhaps the government didn't use the term czar. I would concede, yes, the media picked that up, but it's because Joe Biden announced that he was giving her the authority over the border. Czar is a reasonable appellation in this case, and she didn't even visit the border, and she did nothing about sealing it. The truth is that the policy of the Biden-Harris administration has been open borders. And America is suffering terribly for it today.
Big time. Absolutely, Roger. Ed Cox has a question, Roger Stone.
So, Roger, last June, you made an extraordinary prediction, and that's that Harris would replace Biden at the top of the Democratic ticket. You were right. So what do you think the impact of the debate's going to ultimately be with respect to the election?
Well, it's an excellent question, Ed. In truth, you can't pull any big public event in the eye of the storm, or you won't get an accurate result because opinions are still being formed, and the American electorate is very volatile. You had to wait a few days, and then I waited for a pollster who I respect. There are not all polls are the same. There are questions about methodology, sample size, sample composition, order of the questions, wording of the questions. I was waiting to see what Tony Fabrizio, who, yes, is the pollster for Donald Trump, but also the pollster for the Wall Street Journal, said, and he is out with his numbers, which he's capable of defending, having the president leading nationally by 3 and leading now in every swing state, with particular emphasis on the fact that the president has held his lead among independents post-debate. So I think now you're going to have a slugfest in which they continue to pummel Donald Trump with lies. At the same time, we have an obligation to tell people who she really is based on her record as vice president, as senator, as a prosecutor.
Well, Roger, very interesting and great points, and I think you're spot on, obviously, on that ABC debate. And you were right on the money on saying that she would be coming in. And Ed Cox, you brought that up. That's a great point.
Well, it's Friday.
Thank you, Roger.